Alright, everyone settle in, because today we are diving head first into one of the most talked about, and honestly, most agonizing debates surrounding the biggest sporting event on the planet, the World Cup. I mean, usually, when the World Cup rolls around, my heart starts doing this little happy dance. Right. It's a pure, unadulterated excitement for the beautiful game, for the drama, for the global spectacle that only football can deliver. But this time, it feels different, doesn't it? There's this undeniable cloud hanging over everything, a constant hum of controversy that's making so many of us ask, will politics actually ruin this World Cup? That's the question we're tackling today. And trust me, it's a deep one, it's a complex one, and there are no easy answers here. We're going to explore the history of sport and politics, dissect the specific controversies surrounding this particular tournament, and really get into how fans, players, and even broadcasters are grappling with this moral tightrope walk. We'll look at the arguments from every angle, from those who feel completely disillusioned to those who believe the game will always transcend these issues. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's unpack this together, because it's a conversation we absolutely need to have. First things first, let's get one thing straight. The idea that sport and politics are separate, that they exist in these pristine, isolated bubbles, is frankly a fantasy. It always has been, and it always will be. Throughout history, major sporting events have been inextricably linked with political statements, national identities, and even international conflicts. Think about it for a moment. The very concept of national teams competing against each other is inherently political, a symbolic battleground where nations display their prowess and pride. This isn't a new phenomenon. It's a fundamental part of how these global spectacles operate. We can look back at the 1936 Berlin Olympics, where Jesse Owens' incredible victories directly challenged Hitler's racist ideology, a powerful moment of athletic triumph over hateful propaganda. Then there's the iconic Black Power salute at the 1968 Mexico City Olympics, a profound statement against racial injustice that reverberated across the globe. These weren't just athletes competing. They were individuals using the world's biggest stage to demand change, to highlight deep-seated societal issues. The Games became a platform, whether the organizers liked it or not, for vital political expression. Even the boycotts of the Moscow Olympics in 1980 and the Los Angeles Olympics in 1984 were purely political acts, driven by geopolitical tensions between superpowers. Nations withdrew their athletes, not because of sporting reasons, but because of international disputes and ideological clashes. This clearly demonstrates that governments, not just athletes, have historically leveraged sporting events for political ends. Using them as tools for diplomacy or protest, it's a stark reminder that the ideal of a pure sporting event, untouched by the outside world, is simply not realistic. So, when people say, stick to sports, I understand the sentiment. I really do. Because sometimes we just want an escape. But history shows us that this separation is virtually impossible, especially when the event itself becomes embroiled in significant ethical dilemmas. The World Cup, as the most watched single sport event globally, carries an immense symbolic weight and attracts unprecedented scrutiny. It's a mirror reflecting our world, and sometimes, that reflection isn't always pretty. Now, let's pivot to asterisk this World Cup and the specific controversies that have ignited this intense debate among fans. The issues are multifaceted and deeply concerning, starting with the very decision to award the tournament to Qatar. The corruption allegations surrounding FIFA's bidding process for both the 2018 and 2022 World Cups have been widely reported and are a stain on the organization's credibility. Many fans feel that the decision was tainted from the start, driven by factors other than genuine sporting merit or infrastructure readiness. This initial sense of injustice laid the groundwork for much of the subsequent disillusionment, eroding trust in the integrity of the selection process. Beyond the bidding process, the human rights concerns have been front and center, particularly regarding migrant workers. Reports of thousands of deaths and widespread abuses during the construction of stadiums and infrastructure have cast a very dark shadow over the tournament. These workers, often from impoverished nations, faced harsh conditions, withheld wages, and limited freedoms, all to build the spectacle we are now watching. It's incredibly difficult to ignore these stories when they are so pervasive and well documented, making the enjoyment of the games feel morally compromised for many. Then there are the LGBTQ+ rights issues, which have sparked considerable outrage and concern, especially in Western countries. Qatar's laws criminalizing same-sex relationships directly conflict with the inclusive values that many fans and organizations believe sport should embody. The initial assurances of safety for all fans, followed by conflicting statements and restrictions on symbols like rainbow armbands, have created an atmosphere of confusion and fear. This tension between local laws and international expectations has forced a difficult conversation about universal human rights at a global event. The environmental impact is another significant point of contention, especially given the scale of construction and the need for air-conditioned stadiums in a desert climate. While organizers have touted sustainability efforts, many critics argue that the sheer energy consumption and carbon footprint of hosting such an event are immense. This raises questions about the long-term environmental responsibility of major sporting bodies like FIFA. It's a conversation that increasingly matters to a global audience concerned about climate change. So, how are players and teams reacting to all of this? Because they are right there in the middle of it. We've seen various forms of protest, from subtle gestures to more overt statements. Some teams have worn armbands with messages promoting human rights, while others have made pre-match statements highlighting specific concerns. These actions, however small, demonstrate a growing awareness among athletes that they too have a platform and a voice, and that remaining silent can be seen as complicity. It's a difficult position for them, balancing their focus on competition with their personal convictions. The dilemma for players is immense, as they've dedicated their lives to reaching this pinnacle of their sport. Yet they're being asked to be political activists at the same time. Some players have chosen to speak out forcefully, while others have opted for more muted forms of protest, or focused solely on the football. This divergence reflects the pressure they face from their national federations, sponsors, and even their own teammates. It's not an easy choice, and their actions are scrutinized by millions, often leading to both praise and criticism. And how are sponsors involved in all of this? Well, they're walking a very fine line, trying to maintain their brand image while navigating the political minefield. Some companies have chosen to distance themselves from the controversies, while others have faced pressure from consumers to take a stronger stance. The economic machine behind the World Cup is enormous, and sponsors are crucial. But their association with a controversial event can be a double-edged sword. It forces them to consider the ethical implications of their partnerships more deeply than ever before. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter for us, the fans. How is all this politics actually impacting our experience? For many, myself included at times, there's a profound moral conflict at play. How do you cheer for your team? How do you celebrate a goal when you're acutely aware of the human cost behind the spectacle? This feeling of guilt, of complicity, can genuinely diminish the pure joy that the World Cup usually brings. It's a heavy burden to carry while trying to enjoy what should be a celebratory event. Many fans have chosen to boycott the tournament entirely, refusing to watch games, buy merchandise, or engage with the event in any way. This is a powerful form of protest, an attempt to withdraw their support and demonstrate that ethical considerations outweigh their desire for entertainment. These boycotts, though perhaps not impacting FIFA's bottom line significantly, send a clear message about fan values. They highlight a growing segment of the audience that demands more from sports organizations than just spectacle. Then there's the stick to sports crowd. Those who genuinely just want to enjoy the game. To escape from the constant barrage of real-world problems, they argue that the World Cup should be a sanctuary, a place where we can forget our differences and unite over a shared love of football. I understand this desire for escapism, especially in our often turbulent world, and it's a valid perspective. However, for many, the controversies are simply too pervasive to ignore, making that desired escape impossible. The debates among fans, both online and offline, have become incredibly heated, often leading to divisions even among those who love the same team. Social media platforms have become battlegrounds, where people argue about the ethics of watching, the responsibility of players, and the role of sport in society. This constant bickering and moralizing can itself detract from the communal joy of the World Cup, turning what should be a unifying event into a source of friction. It's a sad reality when shared passion turns into conflict. Even the media coverage is a constant reminder of the controversies. Broadcasters are trying to balance sports commentary with reporting on the political and human rights issues, creating a unique challenge. You'll hear about a fantastic goal 1 minute, and then the next, there's a segment discussing migrant worker conditions or LGBTQ+ rights. This constant oscillation between sport and politics means that even when you try to focus solely on the game, the underlying issues are never truly out of sight. It makes for a very different viewing experience than previous World Cups. However, it's also crucial to acknowledge the counter-argument. Why politics won't ruin it for many, and why the game itself still holds immense power for millions. The sheer beauty and drama of football are simply too compelling to resist the transcendent nature of the game, the incredible skill of the athletes, the unpredictable moments of genius. These elements can still captivate and unite people. The passion for one's national team often overrides other considerations, an unwavering loyalty that defines fan identity. For these fans, the World Cup is a quadrennial pilgrimage, a chance to witness history unfold, to experience the highs and lows that only this tournament can deliver. The once every 4 years factor creates an urgency and a sense of occasion that makes it incredibly difficult to turn away. It's about more than just the host nation. It's about the global family of football, coming together to celebrate the sport they love. This collective experience, for many, remains paramount. The focus for many fans remains squarely on the athletes themselves, admiring their dedication, their talent, and their pursuit of sporting glory. We watch for the individual stories of triumph and heartbreak, the moments of brilliance that define careers and inspire generations, the human element of competition, the sheer effort and emotion displayed on the pitch. can be incredibly powerful. It allows us to connect with the game on a fundamental level, appreciating the artistry and athleticism. There's also an argument that the spotlight, even a controversial one, can actually bring about positive change, albeit slowly. The intense scrutiny on Qatar has undoubtedly raised global awareness about human rights issues in the country, forcing conversations that might not have happened otherwise. While immediate, dramatic change might not occur, the long-term pressure and dialogue created by hosting such an event could eventually lead to reforms. It's a hopeful perspective, suggesting that the World Cup isn't just a spectacle, but also a catalyst. So, where does all this leave us? Is the World Cup ruined? The answer, I think, is deeply personal and varies wildly from fan to fan. For some, the ethical compromises are simply too great, and their enjoyment is irrevocably diminished. They feel a profound sense of disillusionment and a moral obligation to distance themselves. For them, the joy is indeed ruined, replaced by discomfort and anger. Their experience is one of conflict and disappointment, and that is absolutely valid. For others, the love of the game, the passion for their team, and the sheer spectacle of the World Cup will ultimately prevail. They might acknowledge the controversies. They might even be saddened by them. But their connection to football is so strong that they can compartmentalize. They find a way to enjoy the matches, to celebrate the goals, and to immerse themselves in the sporting drama. For them, the politics are a backdrop, but not the main event that defines their experience. For me personally, I find myself somewhere in the middle, constantly grappling with this tension. I can't ignore the very real human rights issues, the environmental concerns, or the corruption allegations. They are always there, a quiet whisper in the back of my mind, even as I marvel at a stunning goal or a brilliant save. It's made this World Cup a more complex, more morally challenging experience than any before it. The pure, unadulterated joy has been tempered by a sense of unease. This World Cup has forced us all to confront the uncomfortable truth that sport, especially at its highest levels, is never truly apolitical. It's a powerful reflection of our global society, with all its triumphs and its flaws. The debates we're having now are crucial, because they push us to ask difficult questions about the values we want our global institutions, like FIFA, to uphold. It challenges us to consider what we prioritize: pure entertainment or ethical responsibility. Moving forward, this World Cup will undoubtedly set a precedent for future major sporting events. It will influence how host nations are chosen, how human rights are considered, and how fans and